Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's get on with today's show. Well, we have made it halfway through the fourth week of the coronavirus outbreak here in America, with much of the country on stay-at-home orders. And it seems like most things will stay on those lockdown orders through the end of April, and then they will evaluate it. They already are talking about strategies to employ once they start to open things back up, but I think we're still a ways away from that. The news changes daily, and until they get treatments and a vaccine for the coronavirus, it sounds like they still will be implementing social distancing guidelines, the wearing of masks. Of course, we are all being advised to wear masks now. It just, the news changes day by day. You think maybe it's getting a little better, then it goes back down. Now, I did go to the store for the first time in about a week and a half yesterday. I went to Target. We have a super Target, so it has a grocery store in it. I did wear a mask, and I have a whole new appreciation for healthcare workers, those on the front lines who have to wear a mask. It is not fun. It was difficult to breathe. I got really hot and sweaty. Now, here in Iowa, my store had no shredded cheese, which was so strange, no eggs other than like organic cage-free brown eggs. There were a lot of sections of the store that were really empty. Rice, there was no just the kind of rice you would cook on your own. They had minute rice and whatnot. But I finally did find a bag of just plain rice. My store had 3 containers of antibacterial wipes left, and it was 1 container per person, so the packs and things were all gone. Once again, no toilet paper. My store did have a lot of paper towels, so it was just interesting to see what was out. Ice cream was out. The Target brand of milk, which is the milk I normally get, was completely gone. I heard someone asking an employee if they had hand sanitizer, and she said no. They get a truckload of the essential supplies in every single day, but you need to be there first thing in the morning when the store opens because everything's gone within 30 minutes. So I'm not willing to go to the store and fight a crowd because that's the prime situation for the virus spreading. So fortunately, I got everything we absolutely needed, and we're just making it work. I tried to do a order where I could pick up, but they're not doing fresh food at my store. They're only doing non-perishables. And even then it would say, well, not sure about this supply. So I finally just decided it was just, might as well try to go in, get what I needed, and get out. I saw an older lady there. She had gloves on. I had brought an extra mask with me. I gave her the mask. But otherwise, very few people were wearing masks here in my area. And my Target wasn't implementing any additional social distancing guidelines, such as one-way aisles. They were, however, cleaning the self-checkout kiosks after every customer. So that was nice. I waited a moment. The gentleman who was working it said, just a moment, I'll clean it. And he cleaned the whole thing. And then I was able to use it. But that being said, I did use copious amounts of handy wipes and hand sanitizer the whole time I was in the store. And then when I got home, got everything in, I took a shower because I just felt, ugh. So fortunately, I won't have to go out again for at least a week. But and we're not even in a hot spot here. Iowa's not a hot spot at all. But it's just crazy how much, I don't think there's a shortage of making cheese, but apparently people are hoarding cheese. It's just so weird, like no shredded cheese at all. We've been talking a lot on the show about the economic stimulus packages coming out of Washington, individuals getting payouts of one-time payouts of $1,200 if you make up to $75,000, and children getting $500. Then there are business loans, there's unemployment, there's all kinds of things available out there. There were a couple comments on my last video about unemployment, with some people saying unemployment is an insurance that paid into, you can't collect something you did not pay into, and a couple people posting that this is different. The COVID-19, the CARES Act that they passed is making that rule, which is normally in place, it's taking that rule away. So it is allowing self-employed individuals to apply for unemployment, even if they weren't eligible before. Again, that's due to the CARES Act. But again, you need to read up on the regulations yourself. It does vary by state. And so, yeah, just make sure you do your own homework, your own research. What we're talking about here on the show is kind of what I'm seeing online, but you always want to make sure you're doing your own research. Talk to your accountant, financial advisor, and if you can get through, you can always talk to the individuals at your unemployment office, although they are being slammed right now. But hopefully things kind of settle down here, and as fewer people are clogging the system, there will be more answers available for those of you who are interested in the unemployment benefits. I did talk yesterday about how I am not going to file for unemployment because I am still working and I'm still making money. So I don't want that to come back and bite me, even though it is covering a loss of income. I don't want it to come back and bite me later that I filed for unemployment when I was actually still drawing an income. Again, it varies, so it's just so confusing right now. Hopefully they'll get more clarity. The individual loans and grants and unemployment in most places aren't even available yet for those who are self-employed, sole proprietors. They're rolling out, I believe, April 12th. It's a confusing mess for everybody. So if you're having trouble getting answers, you can just take heart that everybody is. It's a mess for everyone. As we've been talking about, the CDC has now recommended that everyone wear a mask when they are out in public, and they're encouraging people to make homemade masks with items they already have around the house, not to use or purchase the medical grade masks that our frontline healthcare workers need. And both Etsy and Mercari are encouraging sellers to produce and sell masks on their site. According to a post from the community manager or a community manager on Etsy, on their Etsy community blog, they've posted, "You can make a difference by making masks. As Etsy sellers, you know how important it is to adjust to changing buyer needs. Right now, Etsy has become a destination for fabric face masks, which is leading to overwhelming demand. While we don't know how long this spike will last, we know that we're on track to exhaust available inventory. As a community, we are uniquely designed to mobilize and help out one another. And it's moments like this where we can make a huge difference. If you have the skills and material, you can start making masks today. We acknowledge there have been some conversations about selling masks on Etsy. Handmade face masks and covers are allowed to be sold on Etsy. However, they must comply with certain guidelines. To help our community better understand those guidelines, we've published a detailed guide in our seller handbook for tips for selling handmade masks and face covers." Now, this post will be linked in the show notes below the video if you want to go over there and get the more information and details about making masks. But this particular post then goes on to say, "If you're interested in expanding your product line to include masks, here are additional resources to guide you. Set realistic expectations. It's critical that you meet your shipping estimates. Customers are counting on you to deliver these items on time. Ready to ship matters. It's hard to predict when a sale will happen, but try to have some inventory on hand so that you can ship the same day. Don't make medical claims. If a listing makes any medical or health claims, such as promising protection against the coronavirus, it will be taken down." And then there is a link to how to sew a face mask from the New York Times. So that is on Etsy. And then over on Mercari, they have posted calling all mask makers. More masks for more people. It says, "We are now accepting listings for homemade face masks. With new guidance encouraging individuals to wear masks in public, the makers and DIYers of Mercari have an opportunity to make a difference by getting more masks to more people. Starting today until May 31st, we will donate 50% of proceeds from selling fees on all homemade masks. The donation will be made to First Responders Children Foundation, who provides support to first responders and their families enduring hardships during the coronavirus pandemic." And then they link to some of the sellers who are already making masks. So I guess you can look to them for inspiration maybe, or go buy a mask. And then it says they are posting on Instagram with updates regarding the mask makers and their homemade masks. The post ends by saying, "If you are able, we urge you to donate any surplus PPE," so the healthcare grade masks, "you or your family do not need to your local hospital. This includes respiratory masks, hand sanitizer, and disinfecting wipes." Gives a link to hospitals that are seeking donations. And while you cannot list those particular items on Mercari, they want you to direct as many of these resources to the places in need that you can. So Etsy and Mercari taking a very active approach in getting people to make masks and promoting their site as a place where you can go to purchase them. Just like every retail industry, reselling is hard right now with people not sure what to sell or having trouble getting new inventory. People are being very creative. They're posting locally on Facebook, asking family and friends if they have charity donations that they were going to make. They'll gladly pick them up, taking them as donations or paying for them, posting in Facebook Marketplace for items they're looking for, doing online sourcing. There are ways to get inventory during this time. Now, over on the eBay community board, Jordan Sweetnam, who is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of America's Market, has posted what's trending right now on eBay to give us an idea of what people are actually buying. This post said, "Our business remains strong and more buyers are coming to eBay every day." With that in mind, I wanted to share some insights around what is trending right now. The below infographic was created to help you as you source new products and as a reminder that customers are in need of a wide variety of items, conditions, and price points. This type of demand very much reflects our new normal, so we hope it will be useful as you think about what you might want to prominently feature or items that you could already have that people really want right now. And then there is a big graphic, spring selling during strange times. And the trending items that they are posting about, the top 3 must-haves are webcams, monitors, and stands. Oh, webcams are up 1,000% year over year. Monitors and stands up 140%. Mobile hotspots and routers 100% up. So, of course, these are for people who are working from home and need these items to virtually log into their workplace. Then there's Look Your Best on Video category for those who are doing Hangouts or remote presentations. Hair color is up 155% over this time last year. Nail care up 255%, and nail clippers up 215%. Then we have a section called Boredom Busters, entertainment for all ages without leaving your home. The most popular items, puzzles, up a whopping 1,395% over this time last year. VR headsets, ping pong, kids crafts, board games, gaming consoles, cables and adapters, controllers, headsets, video games, Lego building toys, Pokemon trading cards, books, and train models and kits all are in demand right now. If those aren't things you can source, it's a great time to do some spring cleaning around your own house. See if you can get these things listed. Then there's the DIY section. Home brewing and winemaking is up 125%, as is candle making and soap making up 55%. People are working on gardens, so garden fencing, hydroponics and seed starting, plant care and soil accessories, those categories are all up by nearly 50%. Art supplies, needle crafts, and yarn, also those 2 categories are up 40%. Then they have the top 3 most popular items in the home category: painting, equipment and supplies, HVAC and refrigeration components, kitchen storage and organization. And some people are working out and getting healthy. I don't know if I can relate to those people, but strength training and equipment is up 854%. Other categories that are up over 200%, yoga and Pilates items, fitness equipment and gear, golf training aids, cardio equipment, and trampolines. And pre-owned items, they've put together the top 10 trending pre-owned items that are in demand: puzzles, strength training, webcams, painting equipment and supplies, cardio equipment, laptop docking stations and power adapters, golf training aids, wireless routers and mobile hotspots, VR headsets, and Lego building toys. So you don't have to have brand new in-package items, even secondhand. Those items are very in demand right now on eBay. I've been saying for a while now that I'm very confident that reselling will bounce back very quickly once the coronavirus outbreak is over. Of course, some people are starting to see an increase now as people are staying home for a much longer time. They've already fulfilled their need stockpiling, and they're now looking for those things that are more wants. Of course, it depends on people's financial situations and whatnot, but with the economic situation, people are going to turn to online sites for deals. And of course, the supply chains have been disrupted from around the world, especially places like China, where we get a lot of new items. So people will be turning to eBay, Poshmark, Etsy to get those secondhand items and or find deals. There's a new article up on Forbes.com talking about how brands can address the hyperdrive impact of COVID-19 on e-commerce. So this article is directed towards companies that have brick and mortar stores, but it's interesting for those of us who have always sold online because it talks about how e-commerce has really grown during the pandemic and how they believe that that trend will continue. People have gotten used to shopping more and more online. E-commerce was already taking off in recent years, but even more so now. Plus the fear of going out. Now people are second guessing, well, do I really want to go out and get something, or can I just order it online? For those of us who've always been selling online, that's going to mean strong sales for us, hopefully. So this article says, while e-commerce has gained steady traction over the past couple decades, the impact of quarantining has catapulted it into hyperdrive. Online sales have been growing by triple digits since social distancing went into effect. More consumers are trying Instacart, Shipt, and Amazon Fresh than ever before, if they can even get a delivery slot. It's far from just toilet paper. Everything from high-end coffee makers, fitness equipment, pajama pants are seeing a surge in demand. And this person, the author of this article, says he's bartered paper towels for toilet papers. And then this does go on to give tips for, again, brick and mortar stores to bring their stores online. But, this just, to me, signals that e-commerce is just going to be stronger than ever. And for those of us who are resellers who've already developed our online platforms, we are in the perfect position to not only withstand this pandemic and the current retail climate, but we're really going to thrive when things get back to normal or even semi-normal. And that's a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me your questions and comments. Also, check out the show notes below the video for links to the articles I referenced. Thanks so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.